Hey, how have you been, guys? I'm Paradoxic, and welcome back to Supergirl. This time we're on Season 4, Episode 14, titled Stand and Deliver, and the last one, What's So Funny About Truth, Justice, and the American Way, we found out not really much funny at all, given it's all the ideals that Supergirl herself stands for. But we saw the first official team-up of the Super Friends, consisting of Supergirl herself, J'onn J'onzz, Dreamer, Nia coming back into the fold as Dreamer, and also Brainy. And they got their chance to kick equal amounts of ass in a badass way, but they also came together in order to fight off the Elite, led by Manchester Black and consisting of presumably the last surviving Morai, Hat, a dude who pulls shit out of his hat and can also hide stuff in his hat and just shit, like not shapeshifts but disappears into thin air like Nightcrawler style, and also Menagerie. So they have their own little gang that the Super Friends had to fight. But yeah, they were broken out of prison by Manchester Black in an effort to kind of stomp on oppression and injustice in their own kind of vigilante way, Punisher style, by killing those who oppress. So they had to fight them off, and in the midst of this, the Supergirl and Alex kind of learned to cooperate with one another, and Alex actually took on Supergirl's opinions and her actions on board, and they decided to cooperate, and she got a new suit as well, like a new morphing suit that morphs over her. Like, this one seems a lot less like, it seems a lot more battle-worthy than the original one she had that was used to filter out kryptonite, but this one, I think it has more ability, and it actually has the ability, it gives her the ability to actually go out into space and stuff. So that was cool. We saw, what else? We saw Brainy losing his ring to Hat as well. He lost his Legion ring, so I don't know if that takes away his powers completely, or if that's just, the only thing, truth be told, the only thing I've ever seen him use that for is flying. I don't know if he's actually used it for anything else. He gets his intelligence from his own self. He's a techno organism. He's a 12th level intellect, so his intelligence and stuff comes from himself. But I think the only thing I've ever seen him use that ring for is for flight. So if he's grounded, I don't really know what difference that really makes, or if it's just the fact that that's what kind of officializes him as a Legion member, then maybe that's what's at stake here. Like, he loses his actual membership to the Legion of Superheroes, but we'll see where that leads us. But Nia has promised him that they will get his ring back, so we have that little side quest to look forward to. I don't know if this was in the last episode, but we did have some stuff with Lena and James officially breaking up, and her accepting news and a call from someone else saying that she's ready to work with them on something. So that's yet to be explored. We had, what was it? What's his name? Benny Lockwood. He met up with a crew of Children of Liberty who were, one of which was severely doubting his leadership skills now that he's wearing a suit and going to the White House instead of lecturing people out in the streets and taking action. And so he beat the guy to death with his golden mask and then reaffirmed his own leadership. But then he actually got the President of the United States to actually deputize. He asked if he could deputize the Children of Liberty, but then I think he got the deputization himself. So he's now an official, that kind of like a member of authority and a member of law enforcement. So that's some scary stuff, because that means he has a lot more power to do what he wants with the Children of Liberty, and that means he has a lot more power to go where he pleases and do what he feels is right, or what's best. But hopefully Supergirl can put him down before any of that stuff happens. But yeah, that is pretty much all I have from the last one. So episode 14, Stand and Deliver. Let's go.
Maybe a little snack first.
Menagerie. Do not eat humans. Humans are friends, not food. Maybe not to you, but still, don't eat humans. Dreamer!
Tell us or eat this.
Hey, Dreamer, easy. I thought that you said being a superhero was about showing strength. Well, I meant more hands on hips, not screaming second phase.
Isn't the hands on hips more Supergirl's thing though? Oh hey, it looks great on Dreamer.
Scale on my body, my
Of aliens or their random acts of...
Whoa, wait, oh, Hat, this is not helping the situation at all. This is not helping. Oh, crap. Has he got one of those Men in Black guns, the one that's small but still really powerful?
Hey, anything for my favorite ex-boss? Don't tell me.
For a second I thought, like, I've been watching so much Killing Eve, I forgot her name was Eve, like, Tessmacher and not Eve Pilastri. I've been watching too much Killing Eve.
But I promise, we're one of the good guys.
Thank you, Eve.
I believe you, Eve. I believe you. You touch her and she will kill you herself. That's all I'm gonna say now.
Press conference at 10, shall we?
Just throw him over the stand into the crowd, let them deal with him.
Does it usually take this long?
I did the same thing when I became Supergirl. I practically slept in my suit. And I mean, let's
Jeez.
face it, the suits are pretty cool.
They are pretty damn cool. Except I think Manchester's Jean's is more biological, right? Like he shapeshifts into it.
Wood cannot repeal a congressional act.
No, but he can try and sway the will of the people.
He's just
Oh, that's true. He's the head of the alien affairs thing. If he comes up with a strong enough argument, he can actually convince the government and the people. Why are they in the fortress? What could be here that they possibly need?
Whatever we want in here.
Oh, then everything. I mean, they keep weapons and shit in here, right? And like knowledge.
heroes make tough decisions.
Well, that's not very helpful.
I mean, it's your job, right?
No, Hero
Keep
wants
people
the
safe.
cons of the job, making tough decisions,
And
sacrifices,
likely
but
not,
it's part of the job.
Protecting Lockwood at that rally will keep all of those people safe.
Join me.
I can't. I have a deadline.
Aww.
I call the pot stickers.
Cannot say no to sad face Alex.
Ridiculous.
Deadline or not, you cannot say no to that
All
face.
we're saying is this will let us activate all our alien brothers and sisters.
Really? Was that some alien key?
And we can do even more.
The only one that's different now is you. Come on, Mo. We've lost this one.
Oh, shit.
I hope you find what you're looking for. And choke on it.
Damn. Even the elite are having their own internal struggles. Not a good sign.
Yield or die.
Just take it down to like a 7.
Yield or else.
That's better. That's much better. Yeah. Still loving that Dream Blast, like a repulsor. Loving it. Loving it. I saw tentacles. I saw tentacles. Yeah, I don't think he's dead, but I saw tentacles. And now the Mora is locked up as well. Great. So one by one the elite are being captured. So it's just Hat and Manch left.
Honestly.
Organize a team.
Very well. I shall update Agent Marie from
I mean, I guess a security team makes sense, because you don't want them attacking anyone else or anyone else attacking them. So it makes sense, but
You two should
in
coordinate.
terms of securing the peace in a mental way, I don't really know if it would work.
Sometimes we don't realize the impact people have had on us until they're gone.
Wait, so he's actually
For
dead?
good or bad.
Wait, you're telling me Manchester's actually dead?
Both of you.
Seriously?
Well, maybe now he can find some peace.
I mean, that was a bit anticlimactic, wasn't it?
Hat's out there.
We monitor the news and see if anything pops up.
I was hoping to speak to
I like how, like, comfortably Nia's actually getting into the superhero business. She fits in quite well as Dreamer, so it's nice to see it.
But good journalism. That can impact millions. That's why we became journalists in the first place, right?
Kind of contradicts the phrase actions speak louder than words,
Thanks,
but
Mr. Olsen.
I'll allow it, I guess. I'll allow it.
Why are you in your suit?
Breaking it in.
Because she looks great in it.
I have nothing.
It wasn't my ring that gave me strength. It was fighting alongside all of you, helping to make the Earth a better place.
So that's why he's been so sensitive about the march and about having security there, because he's the one who organised. He doesn't want anything to mess it up.
Each one of us answers the call to stand up and be heard.
And I am a prime location for an interference.
Yep. Security in a way that keeps the peace. No armed guards or anything like that.
We've got some hecklers on this.
They're not like you. You're a superhero.
People who aren't superheroes have rights and lives too. Yeah. She started off just like them.
These aliens and
Kara's all
Supergirl.
dressed up.
Citizen of Earth.
She's marching! She's marching with them. Nia! Great! Let's go. A march for peace. And a march for amnesty.
They've come to take your planet from you. Well, today,
No, they haven't.
today we take
Jesus.
our planet back.
The way he fosters and fuels hatred actually just, again, makes you want to strangle him.
Plus, you were there for me in my time of need back home.
Wait,
Least I
what?
could do is return the favor. Just glad you come around to my way of thinking.
So there never was a disagreement, there never was a death. Manchester, you sneaky little crapsicle.
So find the nearest alien hater and kill them.
Oh crap, no, Manchester, this is not the way to go! This is not the way to do things! To be honest, this was exactly what Haley was afraid of in the first place. Revolution. Yes! Yes! Save lives and kick ass, Dreamer.
Dreamer.
Nice to have a
Mm-hmm.
superhero in town.
Yeah. Oh, damn. Yeah, Manhunter's angry now. He's an angry man. Oh, no. No. Oh, God, that was a Child of Liberty. This is the song. They're really playing this song? Really? Had this song not become such a meme, I actually would have been emotionally affected by this. Allies. Fucking allies. And he's helping. He's helping.
Oh, thank you.
Yep. See? Ignorance and hatred can be turned around. It can be turned around.
The real credit goes to Supergirl and her new sidekick. I would love to get an exclusive with them if I could.
Sidekick?
I'm sorry, what was that?
I'll get right on that.
Nice.
Mr. Olson, you need to see
Sidekick?
this.
Sidekick? Dreamer is not a sidekick. Nah. No. No sidekick. Independent hero. Okay? A partner.
Putting your duty above your politics. Not many would have been able to do that.
Well, she's a professional and hardworking agent. Director.
From all that mess comes something positive.
Today I find you like a manhunter.
Damn. John's really changing, huh? He's definitely not so much the peacekeeper as he was anymore. He's now back to the soldier.
Strong-armed
The fighter.
Ben Lockwood.
Whoa! Wait, what? James? Someone legit just shot James. Someone actually just shot James. Literally shot him in the back too. As soon as he turned around, bang! Just a bullet to the back. Damn. Okay, that was unexpected. Wowza. Okay. Wait, so James has been shot. I feel like we should start off with that. James has been shot and is now bleeding on the floor. And that was a back shot as well. So I mean, I don't know if he actually saw the person, but he went to walk out of the office, then turned back around again, and then the gunshot went off, and then he actually went down. But wow, That was unexpected. I probably feel like a lot less overwhelmed by that, right? Like I probably should be acting devastated, but I don't know. It came out of nowhere, and I just didn't even know it was coming. I didn't know what to think of it. But besides from James has been shot and is now bleeding out on the floor. But yeah, that happened. Bang. Psst. That happened. Yeah. But what else? Alex is Ben's. Well, is Alex is Ben Lockwood's Ben Lockwood's bodyguard, and that is not working out for the best at all. It's working out for the worst. I think she does a good job of actually putting her morals above anything else, her duties, her role as the director, and as in this case as the guard, as the security. She does a good job of actually putting all that stuff above whatever her own personal beliefs are, whatever she believes should be done to Ben Lockwood. She expressed them first and foremost, but then she came to understand that she needs to make a stand in the right way, and that means not letting her emotions cloud her judgment, and actually going forward and doing her job first before making a bigger drama out of it. But she did hold her ground much better than I would have in her position, much better than I thought she would have. But she did it in the end. She did, just leave a little sly little whisper, being like, what, the only danger here is you. So how about you take your ass off stage? And then, just clamped his arm and then throw him to one of the security guards. So that was fun to see. But yeah, Lockwood. What is Lockwood doing? What is Lockwood actually doing? He's doing nothing good. That much is for sure. He's doing nothing good. He's planning on repealing amnesty, which is a classic kind of bigot move, like taking away any freedom or any rights that an oppressed minority group has in order to incite more fear and hatred for said group. And that's all he's been doing this entire season. That's all he's been raising a voice of hatred for such groups and then passing it off as safety and information, and as actually alerting people to what the real threat is when aliens are not the threat. The hatred, it's overall it is born from fear of the unknown and fear of not knowing what aliens are like or what powers they might have, but also in more recent terms it is more related to what aliens are capable of doing and what trouble aliens might bring with them. Like Kara said, a lot of them are refugees of war. They're escaping war, violence, poverty. Their planets are on the brink of destruction, so they need to move. But then for a lot of people who don't know what what that alien life is like, they might think they're coming over here, they're just bringing their trouble over here. So if they're fleeing from a war, then their enemies might come and start fighting their war on Earth instead. But then all of this kind of naivete, Ben uses it like two rocks and just starts sparking it and just ignites the flame and then just smolders that flame into the fire. He rushes this through like a forest fire or something, just burning it, spreading it from person to person, spreading that ideology from person to person, and being these we need to look out for ourselves before we look out for anyone else or anything else, and these aliens mean nothing except for harm, and they mean nothing but bad news for the human race as a whole. So we need to protect ourselves by kicking them out. And he's giving all those people who are scared and don't understand, he's putting all the wrong information in such an easy way into their heads, and again just spreading that hatred. So repealing the amnesty, from what I understand, is what actually allows gives aliens the freedom and the rights to actually live as Earth citizens and actually live among humans, and actually kind of creates that peaceful kind of coexistence between them. So repealing that would mean that he said it would mean that they actually send them back to wherever their homes are, no matter what their situation is. They send them back, which goes without saying it's wrong, like just sending people back to where their homes are, not knowing what situations they come from, regardless of what situations they come from. It's wrong as a whole. But again, I think it's just like they've done a good job of actually, passing Ben Lockwood off as that kind of bigoted and hateful character. And just making him out to be that kind of like the most obvious antagonist. Like, he started off as someone who didn't really have like that much of a negative stance, but then in that episode in Man of Steel, we saw him over time becoming more and more exposed to alien negativity, and especially having lived with like grown up with his father as well. Like, I mean, like there's nothing to say that his father wasn't bigoted against humans before aliens came along. So like living with his father well into his adulthood as well, like that kind of hatred has seethed its way into his mind, and he's now spreading it to everyone else. So he's doing what he thinks is right, even though I think he does. Like, I think even when you're in that position, I think it's hard to not see it as a form of hatred. Like, you're like at least some part of you would know that you are essentially like discriminating against aliens and actually ordering more and more people to hate them and to feel the same way about them than you do. So if you feel angry about it, like in a way that you want to do harm to a group that contains to do harm to a group that in no way has hurt you personally, but you've just had some bad experiences with a few members, you've got to know what you're doing is some form of actual like discriminatory hatred, and it's actual like bigotry. Like, whether or not you accept that is up to you, but you've got to be aware of it at least. And I think I'd like to think that Lockwood actually is, because he knows how many people are against the Children of Liberty and how many like stand against that kind of stuff, and how much work he's had to go through to actually get the Children of Liberty to the point where they are now. So he has to have some idea. That's that. Manchester and Hat, they pulled off a very, very good performance of actually staging their own little disagreement and then faking Manchester's death at the hands of the Sun Eater. But no, Manchester's not dead. I think I felt that was a bit of a red herring, because for one thing, I feel like it's still kind of early for him to die, and that they haven't even given him like a proper it wasn't even a proper send-off. And for another thing, it just seemed way too anticlimactic. Like, I didn't even feel anything from that. I just watched and I was like, okay, he jumped into a room that had a blinding light and was full of tentacles, and not the other one, full of tentacles. Yeah, tentacles. But hey, those two words both sound the same. It's literally, syllable-wise, it's a letter off. But full of tentacles. But he jumped into a room full of tentacles. So I just figured, okay, he jumped into a room with maybe like a giant alien octopus. And then later on they review, oh, it's a Sun Eater and it does this and that. And they're like, like, John's just like, oh, like, now I feel like a weight's gone off of me, like, he's actually dead. And I was like, wait, is Manchester dead? Like, is that what actually happened? Like, I mean, I know he jumped into a room and he never came out, but is he actually, like, dead? Like, is he, like, we don't even have a body, we didn't really see it happen, we didn't, I mean, he jumped into the room, we saw that, but we didn't see anything beyond that, so is he actually gone? I don't know. I'm not falling for it just yet, and I was right. He wasn't really gone. It was way too anticlimactic for a character of his like so far kind of pose. It was way too anticlimactic to be true. So that was that. The Alien March, that was a really, really cool arrangement to see. I feel like that. I know, like, this season especially, I feel like it's very much kind of reflecting on what real world issues are actually going on. Like, obviously with the alien stuff, it's to do with the immigration stuff going on in the US, like with ICE and whatnot. So with this, it's meant to kind of showcase the brutality and the reality of that. But I feel like it's also like, it's it's easily viewable as that, but I think it can also just be seen as like that march especially can also just be seen as like the march of any kind of oppressed minority group. It doesn't, like, I mean, aliens, it doesn't have to be people from another country, but it could be people of any minority groups. I mean, you know, like there were times when I was kind of switching between my kind of perspective of it. Like at one point I was seeing it as like, oh, it's actually they're referencing immigration and stuff like that, and people like aliens standing up to protest that. And then like a minute later I was thinking like, you know, oh, it's just it could be like seen also as like the march itself, like not so much the full context of it, but the idea of like a march being made for like a minority group to actually protest and like to try and conserve their rights. Like in that sense, I was thinking about like a variety of different things, like different race, different like LGBTQ, just so many different kind of like just ways that like an oppressed minority group might come together to try and protest for themselves, and allies might come to their aid as well. Like that march, like the way it was executed in that sense, I feel like it was pretty well done. And Kara's kind of initial like hesitance to go forward with it as well, like just not knowing if she would be the right person, because again, people do see her as a superhero a lot, so she thought, you know, like I think for one thing it would draw more attention to it as well with Supergirl being there, but for another thing, I think she also was afraid that, you know, it would kind of send the wrong message, like her being like a poster girl for that kind of thing instead of actually standing up for it. But in the end, she did move forward with it and actually want to pass on the message that, you know, she's a citizen of Earth just like them. Just because she wears the S doesn't mean anything different. She's still an alien citizen. She came to Earth in their same positions, fleeing from the destruction of her home world. So, you know, that was the main message she wanted to pass on. She joined that march not as Supergirl or Kara Danvers, but as Kara Zor-El, as an alien citizen of Earth. So that was the most important message she wanted to send. And Nia joined in, and Jean joined in, like hand in hand. They led the front line of that march, which was beautiful to see. So that was really cool. And humans helping allies, human allies helping aliens was especially cool to see, because it shows that, you know, like a lot of those people were, I think that there were a lot of people who were like initially part of Lockwood's crowd at his speech. They were the ones pulling Children of Liberty off and actually helping aliens stand up, and it showed. And especially with that music playing again, at first it was hard to kind of hear it as anything other than meme music because it's been memed so many times, but now actually looking at it in the right context with the right kind of background and setting, it makes a big impact. And seeing that scene as well, like, you know, it just gave off the right vibe. Like, you know, actually humans, like people formerly known to hate or just not understand what what aliens are really like or what aliens are really there for, and just not really having like just having that fear in their head, then so soon being turned around by what they saw and actually deciding to help aliens up, because guess what? They're citizens, they're living creatures just like us, they're just here looking for a home, they don't mean anyone any harm, just helping them up and actually giving them like a chance to fight as well. Like that was really, really cool to see. So yeah, that was great. What else? Nia, she's stepping into the hero role quite well. She's you know, she is like it's fun seeing her still kind of develop herself into that role, and seeing her explore like what she actually has to do, like with her speech being like yield or die, and then Kara being like, okay, tone it down just a little bit, don't need to threaten to kill them, and then being like, you know, yield or else. So, you know, the or else is what you have to really worry about there. And then her just constantly wearing the suit as well, that's really, really understandable. It's like a kid getting like a super suit for Christmas or something. Like they just sleep in it, they probably bathe in it, they just go everywhere in it, like they never take it off because it makes them feel so powerful and stuff like that. So seeing that, like the inner child in Nia jumped out when she first wore that suit properly. And working alongside the Super Friends as Dreamer, she did a lot of great stuff. This episode, so I'm really, 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 really proud of her, and I cannot wait to see more of it. But yeah, that is pretty much well, I mean, Lena's thing. Lena working on her cure. I don't know how well or badly that's going to go, but she's not risking human trials again, not after what happened to Adam. She's not risking that again, so she's going to work until it's actually right, and until she believes that it can do the job it's meant to do, the job that she wants it to do, and then she's going to give it up for trials and sees, and like, under her own protocols as well. I don't think she's going to let the government get away with whatever they want with it, so looking forward to seeing how she works with that as well. But yeah, that is pretty much all I have from this episode. So that was Supergirl Season 4, Episode 14, titled Stand and Deliver. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then salt and burn that like button. Comment on what you thought of the episode and what you think is coming up next for the Super Friends. And yeah, that's it. So, I will see you guys next time.